general fund budget. I'm not talking about, I'm talking about revenue.
Yeah, it is in the revenue. Um,
Third unofficial results.
I mean, so I would have to say that just in the Act 13, we're missing about 3 or 4, 5 million there.
Comments I sent her this morning.
They
never received the paragraph.
Oh, was I? I was gonna say, if you read comments from it.
Yeah. Okay. All right, here's the enterprise fund.
Farmers are still going up with
This-
suicide high.
So this Act 13 here would be.
You know, it amazes me, and I almost still read that, because I went to Muncie Township meeting last night, and that was a lot about the solar. But the other morning, you know, I always turn the weather channel on, I know they're listening to the movie. They're trying to tell you, everybody loves to look at them. Everybody loves to look at solar. They love it, they love it. And I'm like, she called me and I called her back and then she.
It's a draft proposed, so
Yeah.
we're still working in progress with what they have.
Yeah, we got some more.
Yeah, we'll
Why is that one? I'm sorry, I didn't say that.
It's part of the finding.
Yeah. Very excited about it.
Hopefully got both.
The
Remember, last year was,
That's it.
Oh, done with all my COVID.
Thanks.
This was last year's.
We had 98 million in revenue.
This year we have,
We have 100.
print money.
There you go. Negative.
110.
or 110, I'm sorry.
Federal government, county government.
This is all one.
So we're looking at a.
It's 150, 110. Yeah, this is one of the oldest one, that's old. I need a new book.
3 million is what,
You have
we got last
extra
year.
book?
Yeah. One of these?
Yeah.
Are you upstairs?
We got,
Want me to look at it?
Yeah, please.
All right, we're live.
All right, we need a book.
I got here early to get a seat.
It's hard, you know? And they make you sit up front.
I went to Muncie Township's meeting last night, and the only row that was open was the front row, everybody else was full.
Is there anybody at that one?
Oh, that was full, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Because they thought it was gonna be the mall.
Oh,
Well, and they're upset about a solar issue, they got a solar farm going in down there.
yeah. They're meeting at the mall on Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We are on.
Okay.
How did you fare in your race?
Came third. Scott Williams, well, just an unofficial race also. He won, you know, had most votes, and Lori Bear was second. And I was third, so he was fourth. Not too far off. But, city controller.
Hi, Sheriff.
Hi.
Yeah.
Sheriff, you know, I apologize for yesterday, but I responded to, that's okay. I responded to Commissioner Maravito, I got him the phone number to come in. and as soon as I did, my phone died. But I was on
It's in
it.
the
Thank you.
second paragraph.
So I got it plugged in,
Just never-
and then I had to take it to the job, and I got cut off again. Just didn't have enough time to.
Left off at 380, that's what I missed after that. So you can't retrieve them.
Well,
Well, if it makes it after the fact, and then you realize it's in.
Yeah.
Hi, Eric.
I had
Hey,
called,
Sheriff.
I said, is there any way to retrieve those? She goes, no, but
So we're waiting for Commissioner Marquito.
yeah.
Okay.
Plugging in the hallway.
That's my first impression, and that sounds, which I always have. I had an issue with it, to explain it to you. Yeah.
I knew about the issue.
Today? No, that they were talking about.
Right.
They didn't tell me about the issue, so.
Oh, just that they talked about it.
She started.
Probably, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have to leave up in Muncie. Is Commissioner Marquito here?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just walked down all night. So we're waiting for him.
Here we go. I think there he comes.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
We're live.
Thanks.
Yeah. You're welcome.
So, yeah, it's been just a bad 6 months. Yeah.
Okay, good evening, everyone. We're here to introduce the 2024 county budget, preliminary draft. We have our budget finance director with us this evening, so I'll turn it over to him.
Thank you all. Thank you, commissioners. Thank you, Matt. My name is Eric Henderson. I'm the Budget and Finance Office Director. This is my first budget cycle. One of the goals is to make the budget more readable and follow best practices promulgated by the Government Finance Officers Association. Hopefully, this is a start in that direction. The budget is truly a team project involving a cross-section of the county. It is a lot of work and could not happen without the efforts and support of the Lycoming County team. I have a short PowerPoint that should cover the major points in a question and answer period following. The entire budget is on the county website under the Budget and Finance Department for your review. PowerPoint. The basics of the county. The county was established in 1795 and currently has more than 113,000 residents in a land area of 1,230 square miles, resulting in approximately 93 residents per square mile. County government employs approximately 550 to 600 people at any one time throughout the various departments and offices. The county is restricted by state law to only levy real estate taxes, so that leaves us to obtain grant money from various places, including state and federal. The highlights: no tax increase is budgeted. There's no additional debt budgeted. We're offering budgeting a 3% raise, wage increase. And if you look at The beginning balance of all the funds, not including fiduciary, which is the pension plan. Beginning balance is $102,284,508. Looking at revenues of $110,551,369. Expenditures of $150,493,961. In the end, you got $62,341,915. Of that, RMS is approximately $22,232,794. Act 13, $19,415,925. General fund, $14,059,587. Pretty good, healthy fund balance. For the general fund, starting out with $31,560,674, and anticipating revenues of $64,229,388, expenditures of $81,730,475. So it reduces the balance to $14,059,587, which is about a little bit over 2 months worth of expenditures. So it's well within the guidelines of what the GFOA would require. 3 months would be ideal. 2 months is in the range. Next slide. You can. Did I skip one? Yeah. Okay. All right. So the major revenue streams is real estate taxes, $40,485,250. The ARPA grant, which is, if you don't use it, you lose it. So we're matching the revenue with the spending. So we're going to spend $15 million. We're going to recognize the $15 million, even though the money's in the bank. If we don't use it, we lose it. So we can't recognize that as revenue until we actually spend it. State and federal grants, not including ARPA, $17,659,382. Charges for services, that's all the various departments, including RMS, $18,484,481. Sale of county products, same thing, $45,099. Investment earnings, almost $2 million in investment earnings, $1.9 million, $37,400. In the sale of this building, $3.5 million, total of $101,665,513.
There, under
Yes.
charges for services, RMS, and other items, how much do you have attributed to RMS in that 18 million? Do you have just the host fee, do you know off the top of your head?
Yeah. that's
Just,
what you-
just the host fee?
Roughly 2.
Yeah, roughly 2 million. Yeah. I thought that's the way you would have done it.
Right.
Because this is a little different than how we've done it in the past, but it's fine, it's actually. makes
Yeah, I
sense.
have in the summary, there is a,
What page are you on in the budget?
you can see on this here.
What page?
It would be 26.
Okay.
RMS by itself, it shows up as enterprise funds.
Yeah,
So if you look over charges for services, it's $14,250,800 for RMS. Or you could go back to the page.
where are you?
Or you can leave another page, go to 30.
Okay.
It's a lot easier to see it. You can see resource management, fund 5,000. The second line down, second line down. On the revenue side. Great. I want to show you.
Nice.
Right here.
We have, where is it? On page 30?
Yeah, see, the red?
Yeah,
Resource
resource
management?
management, yeah.
Yeah, the second item from the top.
Okay, the 14,250,000.
Yes,
Okay, so you actually had out of the 18 million, you have 14 million attributed to RMS.
correct.
Okay, so that's probably, it's okay in terms of the booking, but we actually won't see that much cash because,
Because you're spending 22 million.
Well, because typically we only transfer about $2 million. We don't transfer the entire profit.
Correct.
Usually-
Okay, so
usually
that's
about
something
2
just to
million.
keep in
Yeah.
mind.
Because that's a direct fee, right?
Go ahead, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, no problem.
Well, I want to make a correction here
Sure.
regarding the ARPA grant. Is that in most grants, when we're talking about revenue, like we received $11 million in 2022.
It came 11 and 11,
Yeah, it came in 11.
so 11, 22, and 11 and 23.
Right.
Right.
And so the revenue in 2022 that we received would have showed more of a surplus in that year, ending year. And now, and we have not spent it all, not even close. So that expenses is gonna show up in 2024's budget. The revenue will not.
Even
okay?
though it's there.
Even though it's there. And so you're gonna see a larger deficit this year than others. Money's there, but it won't show as revenue because it was counted as revenue in 2022. Right, and that's really important. When Eric talks about if you don't use it, you lose it, he's talking about the deadline of the ARPA grant. Okay, if we don't use the funds by 2026, then we would lose them.
You have to
So
have that designated by 2024, spent by 2026.
Right, and so we're probably over the next couple of years, you're gonna see a deficit. Because we're going to be spending that money over the next 2 years.
So you have to read the profit and loss next to the balance sheet, because the 11 million that doesn't show up on the profit and loss as revenue is gonna show up on the balance sheet in the general fund,
That's it.
Correct.
right? So it's not there. Right.
That's correct. All right. Anything on that? Okay. Oh.
But, just back up a second. You know what's interesting about the RMS? There's no law that says commissioners can't take more than $2 million. You're showing $14 million in money available, and we can't touch money that is restricted because it's foreclosure and so forth. But in terms of pure profit, we could move what was needed. We try not to because we try to reinvest it.
So, the little dollar bill that shows how much relative to real estate taxes, how much does the county charge, how much does the school charge, and how much does the city of Williamsport charge. So you can see the county taxes are substantially lower than the other entities.
And that would fluctuate depending on where you live, but
Yes.
no matter what,
Yeah.
wherever you live in the county, the three taxing bodies, the county is definitely by far the lowest.
Correct. And Williamsport is pretty high, but, it's a city, so it makes sense.
Not
Pardon me. So, I did a breakdown of the general fund expenditures. So you can see 26 million, which is about 32% of the total. Capital 14 million, and roughly 17% of the total. And the outside agency, including pass-throughs, is a quarter. Those are the large items.
With salaries, do you have the health care and everything in there?
That's
No.
just salaries.
Okay, where is the health care and so forth under your,
It is, that's a good question.
maybe under general operating expense? No.
Yeah, I don't know if it's, it might be in the healthcare fund.
Oh, okay, you have it in a
Yeah,
separate fund.
yeah.
Got it, okay.
I think,
And then the next slide shows a comparison of expenditures for the total, 23 and 24, and nothing, the thing that jumps out is off the far right, where the investment in capital is substantially higher than it was last year.
And we've talked about that. We're doing air conditioning.
Yeah,
we're doing-
We have the courthouse air conditioning, which will be, the system's over 20 years old. It needs to be replaced, and that you're looking at approximately $6 million expense for that. We could possibly, and we've briefly discussed this, using a little bit of the ARPA monies to pay for some of that expense, especially since it's tied to the quality of air in the building.
Yeah.
So
That's
the
more
next-
than 20 years old, right? That's like.
No, it's more than 20, yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
So the next
It's the whole
slide shows,
sys- I'm sorry, it's the whole HVAC system, it's everything.
next slide shows that. Major capital expenses.
Okay, there you go.
Almost 27 million.
Now, that is a significant amount and increase in capital investments over the past budgets.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
significant. And part of the reason why is obviously we're making moves.
Yeah.
Okay, we're selling this building and taking care of that. The building over on Third Street Plaza, it was in dire need of a lot of improvements. And I know you made a recommendation that we probably should go out for a bond or loan in the near future, so that it doesn't stress our funds. And it may be something that the next Board of Commissioners want to talk about. But when you start to look at some of the RMS infrastructure, major equipment, they're ready to open up a new field. One, they had issues with the leachate tanks. Two, hopefully some of that money comes back to RMS for it, and I'm sure it is. I think,
Yeah.
I'm sure money will be coming back.
Yeah.
And the coroner's budget, we had in one of our bonds money for the coroner's building several years ago.
Right.
So there's another issue where you're gonna see $1 million that we had that, was still in there, and now it's gonna be spent, but the revenue isn't realized this year, is the
Right.
following. So,
And with the way the interest rates are now, it might be better to spend this now and then finance it later when interest rates come down and
Yeah, that's paid, you're paying for it with cash.
Right, which county is very in good position with cash right now.
yeah. Although we're making a lot of interest on our cash too,
Yeah.
so maybe be a balance in between. The bottom one, the 10 million, well, that'll come from RMS funds.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of which have already been paid and are in escrow, right, for the closure? Does that include the
All of
closure?
RMS is, capital requirements that are funded through the tipping fees.
Right,
and all
but I
that.
mean, it's money we already have in the
Closure.
bank that's set
Yep.
aside for it, yep. So when you take that out and then you look at the,
And some of these things will be carried into 2025's budget.
that's right.
The addition on the coroner's office, which is 3.4, that'll be some of that going into 2025. The renovations to the Lycoming complex, probably the majority of that's gonna go into 2025. So again, we have it listed as this year's expense, but realistically, it's probably gonna be over a 2-year period.
Right.
Part of the challenge is, from a budget perspective, it's a plan, and so we have to have a starting point.
And it's better to budget it and not do it than it is to do it and not budget it. So, just any questions after that, and thank you for your attention.
well, I wanna congratulate you, Eric. Over the past 2 years, COVID changed the world, changed the county. Your department was totally decimated. We lost everyone but one person. And we put you into a tough position, and we lost another person there that was helping us out quite a bit. So this is a proposed budget. There may be some corrections necessary over the next 30 days. but we'll have that all worked out. But I do want to say this on your director's message, and I think this is very important for people to understand. If you go down to paragraph 3, the county has sufficient resources for daily operations and has substantial investments in long-term assets, including land, buildings, and capital equipment, as well as cash.
Yes.
Okay? At the same time, the county has significant debt levels of 25% of the maximum allowable by law. While the debt levels are within state ranges, the annual cost reduces the county's flexibility to take advantage of opportunities when they arise. So that is something when we walked into office, and when I walked into office, that was about 32%. And yet, we have been very progressive at certain things with MDJ offices, with the repairs to this building, with the repairs of that. It has been, we've made a lot of changes in county government. And that is the number for our new Board of Commissioners to always pay attention to. Always pay attention to that number. Because you would love to bring that down, you know, to take advantage.
Takes time.
Right, but it's gonna take time.
It takes time.
So, I wanna thank you for what you've done. I mean, and there's still a lot for you to learn about
Oh,
the
yeah.
county,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. Oh,
And you've
yeah.
done it in such a short period of time. We appreciate your efforts. And I'm sure you didn't do this over an 8-hour workday.
Eric, can you go back to one of your previous slides all the way
Sure.
back at the beginning? I'll tell you when to stop. Right there. Okay, so I want 3 takeaways from this evening. Number 1, most importantly, no tax increase for 2024. Number 2, we have an ending balance of $62 million in the account, and in the general fund, we have a $14 million balance.
Yes.
So the county's in good shape currently.
And that's assuming you spend everything that you budgeted, which is probably not gonna happen.
Correct, and you know, a lot of it is capital improvements. This board promised that we were gonna do things with the buildings, which we have. We said we would downsize. We have now sold this building. We're downsizing, going across the street. Initially, that cost is gonna be expensive because we have to do some renovations. But in the long run, we're saving millions of dollars. Ending a lease and bringing those people up into that building, bringing that revenue up into 3rd Street Plaza, using that revenue that's provided by the state to pay down the debt on that building is another major plus. Plus additional money that we can use for mental health services regarding that building. So these are some of the takeaways. This board's been very active to make improvements to the buildings, at the same time downsizing the buildings, and the main thing is that doing it without having a tax increase.
And you don't have to pay the operation of this building.
Exactly.
Right, we don't have the capital.
Plus the millage stayed the same. you know.
Right. Plus, we'll be getting
Thank
taxes
you.
on this building, because it'll be going into the private sector.
Yeah.
So but I do think caveat emptor, let the buyer beware, and I see one of the elected officials here. That general fund balance of 14 million is, you know, something that makes you keep an eye on how many employees you have, because you can easily crank up your operating expenses. We know that at an average of 60,000 per employees, every 20 employees adds 1.2 million. Take that over 4 years. Increase that operating over 4 years, you're at 1.2 times 4, you're at $5 million that you're chewing into your fund balance. The fund balance is the general fund balance.
Right.
That's the number that you gotta keep your eye on, because that's the one that is totally
It's your cash flow.
cash flow and needs to be at least 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
So I would say just keep an eye on how many employees you have, because it can creep up. Everybody, you know, there are needs that you need, but you gotta figure out whether it's a real need or whether it's a need that can be met in another way. By the way, did we fix on the paper copy that the prothonotary is listed?
I will on the next iteration.
fine.
The final budget will
Yeah.
reflect the prothonotary as an elected official. We apologize about that, Mr. Heath. somehow it was left off, but it'll definitely be on the copy, the final printed copy that's distributed to the public. This is an interim budget that's good for 30 days. The final one will absolutely have you in there.
And we'll continue to look for ways of cutting things.
Yeah, and that's the whole point.
This is
is-
a preliminary budget.
Right, and to present it, and that's the whole point, having 30 days to look it over and so forth.
And then we may have had some revenues in Act 13 that
What are the
we added
investments?
to this.
Investments?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go to that slide.
We have one?
Keep going.
Oh, showing how much we
Yeah.
made on interest?
Yeah.
There it is.
Right, so the investments, we've made close to $2 million this year just off the investments.
That's
for-
projected.
Projected
Yeah.
for next year. Since we started that, we've brought in about $12 million
Over.
over, and that's amazing.
It is.
You know, to make $12 million off your money, not just having it sit there,
Yeah.
is a credit to the team. The team has met on that, the 3+1 Matt, the treasurer, yourself, and I hope I'm not leaving anybody out.
no, we actually started it at the first 8 years ago.
Right.
We started,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
over
I've
8
seen
years
that,
we've
yes.
been doing it.
Yeah.
But that's how one team of commissioners builds on what the other team does, and I'm sure you guys are gonna do something better than we've done.
I remember back then, we were only probably bringing in 300-400K.
Right.
interest rates.
The rates were really low.
Interest rates were so low too, yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's another thing to highlight.
And that may be a reason, depending when you meet with bond counsel, if they can get a good favorable rate on the bond, hold the cash, you know, you look at the difference between what you're getting in the cash and what the bond is, and you might actually find that you're paying a small amount. so.
You want your money to work for.
Right.
It's
For
the
your money
end of
and.
bonds. when you pay
Absolutely.
the highest interest.
And we'll look at bridge alternatives to get there, you know, all rate dependent.
Yeah.
Short term.
I want to tell you, Mr. Eric, the format is really nice.
Excellent.
I like the way in the beginning you did sort of a little description. You know, the budget before was great, they did a good job, but it was kind of hard if you weren't familiar with budget language.
Yeah.
And this is really what I would call a user-friendly, easy to read. For one thing, it has a table of contents. I mean, I'm serious. We didn't have table of contents before, we had departments.
Yeah.
And so here, I wanted to look something up, a constituent asked me about the prison. So bam, I go down my table of contents, I see what page it's on, I can flip to that. You know, it's user-friendly, there's a term that we use, what the heck is the term? Has to do with residential leases. The Attorney General wants you to make them basically readable by the average person.
Yeah.
And that's what this budget is, it's readable by the average person, so. It's not an over-information and it's not under. Yeah, you can tell on, oh, okay, county budget by fund and department, yeah.
So if you compare it to last year's budget, our revenues have gone up, but our expenditures have also gone up, and that's because of the capital projects that we have forecasted for the future.
Absolutely.
And Commissioners, some of those capital projects also rolled over.
It rolls over.
You know, so
You know,
the money that was budgeted for it was last year.
Right. They said they rebudgeted. And we do have a few rollovers that did not make it into this, which will be in the final budget.
okay, great.
That's the one thing that is always frustrating. You roll over the expense to the next year for the project that you were unable to complete. But the funding that was budgeted for that project doesn't roll over, so it's not like a even wash.
And I want to compliment our department heads, our elected officials. They're constantly looking for ways to save money. They bring new innovative ideas to the county. Many have cost savings. The staffs of those departments, they do excellent jobs. The grants they go out and look for, Maya and procurement office, you know, the ideas that she brings forward to the different departments. And because, you know, you have $40 million in taxes, that doesn't cover nearly even half of the budget.
No.
The rest of it is the staff going out looking for the extra revenue from the state feds.
Yeah, it is absolutely necessary.
And I think the same can be said, I'm sure you would agree, of the elected officials. The elected officials do
This
the
is the
same
row
thing.
officers.
Oh, the row officers,
Elected
yeah, they do
officials.
the
And
same.
you as well. You
By-
obviously, you're
By the way, I see something that we need to, page 23. We actually, I think if you talk to the solicitor, we actually have 2 enterprise funds now.
Yeah.
We have
The golf course.
RMS and the golf course.
Right.
Because the golf course is is really
Right.
under the commissioner. I'm almost positive,
Oh,
it would,
okay.
check that out, okay? I
It is
think,
a separate.
yeah, I think it would be classified as an enterprise fund, in which case you wanna put
Okay.
page 23 and do we have the golf course in here?
We do not.
I think we need to add the golf course, if I recall conversations.
Are you looking at the list for the?
Well, I'm looking at, I happen to look at page
Yeah.
23.
I'm not sure
The rec authority.
if we can classify that yet, such as.
The bond on the golf course that's still owed, that is, that has.
Are you talking about the
that's-
list with
that
the
needs to be
special
listed.
revenue? Huh?
Well, yeah, well, I don't, no, if you look on page 23, the golf course is not listed
It
anywhere.
has to be listed.
But if you thought it's what it's characterized as, it's probably an enterprise fund, because it's not a required, yeah, page 23? No,
23 is the list of the.
23, it's just a summary, he gave a
Yeah,
description of
just a
county
list.
funds.
Yeah.
We still have the authority.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm saying, I don't think it can be under an
Oh,
enterprise.
I see what you
Yeah, you know,
Because it's still an authority.
but you know what the problem is, Commissioner?
It's neither here nor there. I'm just saying that we have somebody sign off as an authority member on certain things. so.
Yeah, I think though, because they don't have any ability to effectuate the finances and we ultimately are responsible, it has to be reflected in the,
should.
Then there
Should be in
needs
there.
a
Yeah.
process needs to
Yeah.
occur for that to
Yeah.
happen.
but we should, well, let's put it this way, if I was a citizen and I came here and I'm looking at the budget, I would say, where is your golf course?
Mhm.
The golf course doesn't issue, if it's an authority, it is an authority. You're right that it's sort of in between, but the bottom line is that if it's an authority, it has its own reporting requirements,
Right.
which
It does.
it has not been doing because we took over
Well, it's
the,
important they should have their revenues and expenditures
Yeah.
noted in the report.
and it's something to shout from the hilltops, as you noted earlier.
Right.
We do have a little catch-up, but as far as posting the golf course's financials, but we posted them, we posted them every month when Tron would send them in.
Right.
That's just,
Yeah,
we gotta
And
get caught up.
we will have them at a commissioners meeting here before the end of the year
Yep.
to give us a final year end report, which we understand is favorable.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely have them placed on the agenda to do that.
We want one of the most successful years ever.
Yeah, they did great.
they did
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, this is not, when I say it should be in here, it isn't because it isn't successful. It's because somewhere you have to be publicly accountable for the money that is going in and out of there, right?
Okay. Is there any questions from the public? Okay, any online, Matt?
I'm seeing-
I'd like to make a comment.
Yes, Sheriff. Please come up to the podium.
I finally can read, I finally can read the language that Commissioner Maravito talks about. That's really easy to read now,
Yeah.
this budget document. I'm gonna talk taxes because, I'm in Porter Township. I think I have the highest millage in the county. I have one of the highest millages in the school district in the county. And my dollar, I found with interest, the dollar that Eric split is, I think, 54, 24, and 21 cents. The 21 is the 54 is the school district, 24 is the township, and 21 is the county. So 21 cents of my dollar goes to the vast majority of services, of government services that the county, when you talk about education, local government, county government, I get the biggest bang for my buck by far, for by far the lowest amount of the tax dollar that I pay. And that's incredible, and I think we've only had about 3 or 4 tax increases in 20 or 30 years. I also want to comment, this is my, I feel old now, this is my 12th budget being present, because I try to travel with you guys and we do budget. My 12th budget with Commissioner Becerra. my 8th budget with Commissioner Rivito. It's a nice shiner you have. And my 4th budget with Commissioner Metzger. You know, and sometimes we don't always agree, and things are tough. But I got to tell you, coming through COVID was incredible, an incredible ride. Extremely challenging for all of us. I thought we did exceptionally well in making it happen. I remember the milestone that we had when we were able to open up the first recycle bins down at Lowell Plaza. It was like a festival for people, and we at county government, you know, there was no baselines. We all have our own opinion on how we need to do things.
Yeah, I want to also interrupt you for a minute because we have Mr. Heap with us tonight in his office, and Registry Recorder Dave Huffman, what they did to move across the street so that they have their information accessible. And so right there in the
That was a collaborative effort that we had
Yeah.
with Tom
Yeah.
and with Dave, and it just goes to show that we do really well at the county, on the county side. On a personal note, I can't say enough positive about the boards that you three have been on. Because you know, sometimes, and I'll say, sometimes department heads, elected officials will say, well, I'm the golden hen. I don't know that I'm the golden hen. I just know that and you three know this, I put a project together and I cover everything imaginable to make sure that we can show that something's justifiable. The world's gone crazy since we were little, since 10 or 20 years. And the challenges that we have, we just got done with the lady that did the drive-through over at Lowell. We just minutes ago finished that trial tonight. And what we deal with out here and trying to protect people and keep people safe has been a huge challenge. And I've always had the resources that I've needed. And now I give you the huge kudo because I just got done before I came in here speaking to the last MDJ I could find, because you've staffed the MDJ offices to help us bring some sanity and safety to those folks. And as I spoke to them, I told them I was coming to the meeting tonight. Each of them wanted me to express personally their gratitude. It's a challenge to staff anything. It's a challenge to get people to work. I mean, that's the greater challenge to do, but we'll get it done, and we'll continue to provide help. You know, I go back, Rick, to when you were in the House, and you were one of a very few, if any, state legislators who called me from the floor of the House more than once, and said, "How can this bill's coming up? How can I help you?" And you know, for the most part, you have always supported what we needed to do, and we've really come a long way since I first got here. So,
well, the new positions, this budget does include some new positions, and you know, we never want to add new positions unless it's absolutely necessary. And one of our major concerns is the safety of our citizens, the safety of our employees. We know we live in a crazy world. We've had several incidences at our district justices' offices. So we have hired, or we're not hired yet, but we've implemented in the budget to put on 5 additional sheriffs to assist on those offices, plus across the street, as we move across the street, to have security at the 3rd Street Plaza, because currently right now there's no security over there. So between the really actually 6 locations, 5 magistrate offices, and across the street at 3rd Street, we'll have these 5 deputies working those sites. And let me add one thing. And the other position we've added is the public defender's office, a clerical staff. They have operated with 1 clerical staff since the initial public defender's office was opened in 1969. They've had one clerical staff, where most departments have at least 3. They've managed that long with 1 person. They can no longer go with just 1 person, so we added an additional clerical staff to a department that hasn't seen any staff on that type of occupational level since 1969.
Over 50 years.
50 years.
Yeah.
So, something that the sheriff just said is important for the public to understand. It's very sometimes we want to say we're never going to raise taxes, we're never going to raise taxes. The reality is that the world changes. And I mean, for example, I'd say when we were kids, but you don't even have to go back to when we were kids. In 1990, I dare say you sent one person out alone on serving a warrant, right?
Absolutely.
And now, of course, we have to send two. And we've had
Or
multiple
more.
sheriffs and deputies killed across the country serving warrants.
I never thought, true. I
In
never-
1990, the number of PFAs that we had, geez, people didn't even know what it was.
I never thought I'd see in my career, and I did mainstream law enforcement for 30 years. I never thought I'd see in my career, and hoped I would never see in my career, deputies take a life. We actually took a man's life who was a fugitive and a child rapist.
Who was shooting at the deputies.
Who was, well, he wasn't. He came around the car and our deputies anticipated it.
Right.
But the incident you're talking about is when the officer got shot in the city and we chased him down to Sheets and he pulled two guns and he was shooting at troopers and shooting at our guys. We almost, another domestic violence, almost shot an incident down in Muncie.
That was election night.
Yep, that was election night. And Muncie, we almost had to take another life. It's really, the dynamic is really different. And I just want to thank you three and the Colonel for all you've done to help us keep people safe. We staff every courtroom with a deputy now. We have to. Used to be the in custody ones are the ones we're concerned about. It's not that way anymore. It's people who just come into court and they get a verdict or their family comes in and
Well, the judge who was shot the judge had just ruled on.
Hagerstown.
Yeah, on the custody of the husband and wife.
Correct.
And so I guess my point is that, and it isn't just in the public safety arena. We have seen, obviously, as the population declines, the workforce declines, we now compete for employees in a way that I bet we never competed before. Before, you didn't see 25, 35, 50 vacancies at county. It was, yeah.
It would be like.
And I mean, even prior to all of us. I'm
Right.
talking 1990.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
I worked here in the 70s and 80s at the 911 center, and you had to wait to get a job in county government.
Right.
You couldn't get a job here. It was, you waited your turn, and employment's just changed. We don't have any idea how they've done it. But I don't take more time. I want to
No,
thank
so you gotta keep an open mind about what you have to do.
I
in
just want
terms
to
of
add that we
employees.
met with the district justices and to hear the stories, one after another, of incidences in our courtrooms, with landlord-tenant complaints, with all civil matters, with just people that are belligerent and angry coming into their courtrooms, trying to intimidate judges. Several of these magistrate offices are in rural areas, and by the time police, it's 10, 15 minutes till they can respond to some of them. And so we had to make precautions. We actually have staff that were very scared to go to work in those departments. So we have to make sure that the public's safe and at the same time the staff is safe. So this is a measure that we had to take. It was absolutely necessary to take to make sure that we keep everybody safe.
I'd like to make a comment to the public, that I want to thank them for having the confidence to put me in the office 3 terms. I also want to say that during those 12 years, we've had 2 tax increases. And I'm just saying within the 12 years. But from 2004, which is 20 years, we've only had two tax increases. That's unheard of. And that's our job. And our job is to make sure that we get the biggest bang for the buck, that we provide public safety, and when that's needed, we obviously know there's going to be resources that are going to be needed along with that, whether it's personnel or vehicles or tanks, like we used to joke. But 12 years is a long time to be responsible for the taxpayers' money. And it takes its toll on you, especially when you have to raise taxes. It's one of the most difficult things I've ever done. And it's terrible to say. And it's only because I believe that here in Lycoming County, for the most part, the Board of Commissioners have the finger in the pulse of the people in this community. We attend many, many, events, meetings, and we go door to door. We have phone calls. We take phone calls. And we really hear the cries of the people of this community that aren't as blessed as we are, I didn't bring the information with me when you got me the salaries of
Right. The
every
number of people.
employee, but I can assure you that the salaries in this county and the benefits in this county are probably second to none. I don't know of any county that has what we have. And still, we held the line on taxes for 24 years to 2 tax increases. So I want to thank again the taxpayers, and I wish the new commissioners coming on board all the luck in the world. And I think you'll do a fantastic job.
Yeah, I want to thank you both. It's been a pleasure working. This is our last budget together. We've done some remarkable things over the past 4 years.
Oh.
A lot of accomplishments through some very difficult times and challenges and things that there wasn't a playbook for, especially through COVID. And so it's been a pleasure working with both of you. At the same time, I have a unique perspective because I've been on both sides of the fence as an employee and now as a commissioner. And I can say that on the employee side, we work with some amazing staff. Those employees are second to none. They come to work every day. They care. They're hard workers. And on this side, we have boards of commissioners that sincerely care about what they're doing. They have the best interest of the taxpayers at their heart, and they don't have personal agendas. They truly want to make sure that they provide services within the means so that we don't have to raise taxes, and that's the key. So you don't do this job to get famous or get rich, or if you do, you're in the wrong business. You do because you care about people, you care about your neighbors, and that's what motivates, at least motivates, I know, all three of us. So thank you.
And it's been a pleasure working with you too. We have sometimes agreed, sometimes disagreed, most of the time agreed on the kind of big picture of where we want to go. That's probably the most important thing. Sometimes we disagree on how we're going to get there, but I valued your 32 years experience as an employee. I've often, sometimes in a meeting, will say, well, you were here, what was the policy that? And that it's good to have that institutional history, the good side of the institutional history, and sometimes
Right.
the negative side of the institutional history, to know where we're going. So likewise, I think that the new board is going to do great. I think it's important, as Commissioner Masseri said earlier today, to not jump in and just, most of when you become a commissioner, it's what you don't know. Some of which you learn, as I've said multiple times about the 2004 cost of building and assessment, that here I am on my way out after 8 years, and I'm just learning that, but that's okay. So it has been a great experience, and I do think that we've been able to, with the support and leadership of the elected officials, the row officers, and the employees, do a lot of good things for the community. I mean, I feel like we're leaving the county in better shape, and that we've spent our time wisely, and we've tried to spend our money wisely. If there's anything I have to say about this board, it's been very critiques carefully how we spend money. We probably do that in our personal lives, and we bring it over into our work. So,
And again, it goes down to we're not bosses. We're part of the leadership, and we have other leaders in the county. We're in charge of the fiscal end of it, and the main thing is we work as a team. And I know that our two commissioners, Commissioner-elects, have emphasized that it is a team effort, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel, but you do got to work with your fellow employees. And if you don't, then you're not going to get along here. you gotta make sure that you have an open mind and work together. Okay, so
Okay.
we did not have an agenda, so I will ask for a motion to dismiss.
I'll move.
I'll second.
All fair side?
Aye.
Okay.
And this is on live stream, right? So we've got it recorded if people want to look at it.
Yes.
They couldn't make it, but they want to see it.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks,
Yep.
Mark.
See you, Tom.
Okay, I
Whoever.
gotta be in Muncie
Okay.
in 7 minutes.
Can you let me know?
Eric, nice job.
Yeah.
Nice job, Eric.
Yeah, good job, Eric. Take care.
Oh, I had it all set up.
Hey, we're here, Dr. James Tour.
Hey, I
He's looking at this,
What's that?
Yeah, Matt.
Dr. James Tour, they've been working on this, ability to turn waste plastic into
Yeah.
graphene. And graphene is one of those resilient materials. And you can use it in a lot of different, applications. They draw hydrogen off it too, as an
Wow.
energy source.
Congratulations.